Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. Today, we've got three brand new great decks. You can tell one is the number one deck on the Infinite leaderboard. We're also kicking off a new giveaway. We've got a giant feature on how to play Phoenix decks properly because the win rate on these decks is low, but the cube rate is high, and we're going to learn a lesson about Snap. But before we go any further, please hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment, ring that notification bell. We bring you a new video every single day, 8 in the morning Eastern. New video goes up every weekday. On Saturday, we release the podcast, which is 3 hours with Marvel Snap's top creators. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means OTA day, which means a 2 video day. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. We bring you the best decks, bundle guides, everything you need to make your Marvel Snap journey as complete as humanly possible, to help you get infinite, to help you climb into high infinite, to help you become the best Snap player, the happiest Snap player, the most well adjusted Snap player you can. In addition, we're giving away 5 season passes. We just hit 8,000 subs. Super happy. We try and do a giveaway every time we hit a new round number of subs. So we're giving away 5 season passes. I know a lot of you have Scar. I don't want to leave you out of the giveaway if you do. So if you have Scar, you can just have Black Swan. Or if you would rather have Black Swan than Scar, that's February season pass card. Please feel free to just choose if you win. To enter, all you have to do is comment on today's video and any video. So every video from this video right here until this coming Sunday's video is an entry. Each video will have its own winner. All you have to do is be subscribed and like and comment those videos. Help us spread. And if you're willing to, help spread the word. Tell your friends that play Marvel Snap to check these videos out. Thanks. We also maintain a giveaway sheet, thanks to our friend Banshee. This giveaway sheet is every active giveaway currently in Marvel Snap. The great thing about this is you get to find some great content and win some free stuff in the process. Next up, this is our outline for the day. We're going to begin with our, obviously, we just did our giveaway. Then we're going to do questions of the day. I think we actually only have one, and then I delete the others. What are you going to do? Then we've got FinSnap, who is the number 28 ranked player and gave us a whole ton on how to play Phoenix decks by OTA predictions. We've got Sanutora deck, courtesy of No Lux Given. If you'd like some gameplay for this deck, check out youtube.com/at No Lux Given. No Lux is a top, I believe, 1,000 free to play player, the number one ranked free to play player in the world as far as we're aware of. Check out No Lux Given. Then we have We Vote Wednesday, where you vote for a deck with an underused card for us to feature. And finally, we're going to close out with a deck from Ika. Ika is a longtime show favorite, builds really good decks that are really simple to play, and everyone loves them. We'll finish up, as always, with shop and shoutouts, and we have 2 days of shop for you today. All right, the only question we care about here is the first. We answered the other ones yesterday. Greg is fun as what keeps me playing Snap, and further, what would keep anyone playing. So, what keeps me playing Snap outside of content creation is ultimately the variety. I can always find something interesting and new to do. It's why the last couple of weeks have been so frustrating because the blob Thanos meta has just become everything. Every deck seems, excuse me, every deck seems to be a blob Thanos deck. To the point where, like, outside of the very beginning of Loki, and I guess a little bit during Elsa, the game hasn't felt this homogenized. So that's been rough, right? But we can still find really fun, interesting things to do. And because there's always so many new cards and always such balance updating constantly happening, there's always something new and interesting to do. And that prevents me from getting bored and keeps me playing Snap. So if I were you, I would be looking for the most interesting cards to make the most interesting new decks. And that's how I would proceed forward, assuming that you're capable of hitting infinite. If you're not hitting infinite, then that's a nice, simple, straightforward goal to go to. All right, our first deck is FinSnap's Rank 28 deck. It is 16 and 14 with plus 35 cube rate. Cool. It's a nice simple deck. Phoenix Force decks usually are. You kill Torch or multiple men with Carnage, Venom, or Deathlock, and then you play Phoenix Force. You make it huge. And then if you're multiple manning, you can use Ghost Spider and Doctor Strange to basically fill every spot with Phoenix Forces. If you're making a gigantic Human Torch, and you can still use Human Torch and multiple men, you just drop Tribunal, and there's a bajillion power in all the lanes. There's less Killmonger in the meta right now, so Torch is safer because, well, Air is a card, so people just aren't running Killmonger as often as they were. If they are, you have to go with the Doctor Strange route and be careful. And sometimes if you don't see your combo, you can just go Shuri into Nimrod, and then if you destroy that Nimrod twice, you've got 24 power in 2 lanes, and potentially more because Venom. Cool. So Nico can be Crystal, Zola, or Magic. That is Finn's suggestions. Ghost Spider can be Iron Fist. That's always the change there. And you're gonna need Phoenix Force and Rod Sar. Quick play by play. Turn one, torture pass, and you're only really torching if you're gonna Carnage it on two. If not, just chill. Turn two, eat it, torch, or multiple men. Turn three, eat it. Turn four, Phoenix Force or Shuri, or and this is your last chance to eat something. Turn five, last chance to Phoenix Force with Ghost Spider or Nico to move it. Or you can play Nimrod on Shuri. If Phoenix Force is out, Strange and Ghost Spider. Turn six, if multiple man, then you're just going to play more of the move cards and try and get that multiple man as spread out as possible. You can still trap Tribunal, but it's a little less. If Torch, Tribunal, if Nimrod, eat it twice. That's the simple play line. But Finn gave us so much more. Finn says, you only Nico on one if you have the Destroy to draw. Otherwise, don't play turn one, basically, no matter what. He does not like the Torch into Carnage on turn one. It lets your opponent know what you're doing too fast. Um, it also gives you an extra turn to snap if you draw your full combo by turn two. Nico, Destroy on Torch or multiple men on one or two is a snap. Snap before you drop multiple mana or torch. If you have Phoenix Force, you're assuming you see a destroy card and you just run. If you don't, fine. You'll run for two instead of one. Sad, but you'll live. Tribunal means that if you have a choice between Torch or multiple men, you choose Torch because Tribunal and Torch have such great synergy. Deathlock is the priority on turn three for either destroy or stats. It is always what you want to destroy with because if you have to Nimrod, Venom, and Carnage get extra stats. Snap before Shuri if Nimrod is in hand. Deadpool Destroy is a terrible matchup, and you're going to need priority to beat Professor X Lockdown with Tribunal due to Alioth. So Tribunal will win that Professor X lane, but Alioth means that you to have prio, so be careful with. Your rest of the tips are Phoenix Force Torch into move, plus Ghost Spider and Doctor Strange is a 56 power torch, into another move in Tribunal, which is 112, with the 9 for Living Tribunal, which is at least 40 power in each lane. Yeah, that's right. Phoenix Force Torch into move plus Ghost Spider Shuri, and then you Shuri into Tribunal is 24 in each lane, which is pretty damn good. It's a little bit less, but pretty damn good. Multiple Man into move plus Ghost Spider plus Doctor Strange on empty lane. At least 5 or 6 8 power multiple man into Tribunal on 6 is perfectly fine. You're just gonna win that game fairly often by going wide. Remember, you don't have to Tribunal. Sometimes you'll want to like Venom and Nimrod in another location, just to get as much power around as possible. Shuri into Phoenix Force, multiple man plus Ghost Spider is 13 power multiple man on turn 6. This playline is when you need to go tall versus destroy, hella discard, or whatever. Into move Doctor Strange on an empty lane is the goal here. Shuri Nimrod into Ghost Spider plus Venom plus Carnage. If you need to go wide, Carnage first before Venom. If you need to go tall, Venom first before Carnage. Ghost Spider lets you play around Disruption like Arrow, Alioth, Jug, Cosmo, etc. And then there's other smaller plays, but those 5 are them. So if you need this, use it. This will help you not be terrible at the Phoenix Force combo. It tells you exactly what to do in every basic situation that you will find yourself in. Obviously, locations can throw a wrench at this, as can opponent. So I think the biggest thing we can take from this is only a 53% win rate deck, but it's the number 28 ranked deck. And a lot of people go like, but shouldn't you really have a high win rate deck? Well, the better players you're playing, the higher it is to have a high win rate, right? So a 53% win rate doesn't seem like a lot. But a 1.15 cube rate is completely ridiculous. This is 35 cubes in 30 games. That's what you should be looking at where possible. Cube rate takes into account win rate. It's win rate after it's cubes after whether winning or losing. So like it subtracts the cubes you lose when you lose and adds the cubes you add when you win. So like cube rate is what you really need to look for climbing in both pre-infinite and infinite rank. And that's this 1.15 cube rate is a really important lesson, right? If I put 85% win rate deck in my thumbnail, everyone clicks it. If I put 1.15 cube rate deck in my thumbnail, no one clicks it. And that's backwards. Everyone should be looking for the high cube rate decks, not the high win rate deck. If you spend any time on Untapped or Marvel Snap Zone, you'll find a lot of high win rate decks with like super low cube rates. They're fine, but you're going to be climbing forever. You're going to have to play a million games. People know when to run. You want those high cube rate decks And even if it has a mid rate, obviously high win rate, high cube rate is right, which is Thanos Lockjaw. But you want high cube rate over high win rate every time if your goal is to climb efficiently. All good? Take the lesson from the number 28 rank. One last look at the deck. This is a pretty one. We've got Venomized Ghost Spider. I kept the Jacinto Carnage Venom because we have Venomized Ghost Spider. I felt like it looked better than the Hip Venom and Carnage for that. We got Midnight Suns, Nico, and Doctor Strange to be friends. We got 4 Shuris. We could have 6, but we got 4 Shuris. They are sorry, 4 Hips. We got Shuri, Phoenix Force, Nimrod, and Tribunal. This multiple man will someday be a hip when that hip comes out. I will also buy the hip Deathlock next time it turns up. I like this Human Torch a lot. I think it's really, really nice. It looks great animated. And then that's the deck. Cool. Let's keep going. So my OTA predictions are Blob to 6-2. Um, Blob 6-2 and can only be played alone. I had that conversation. I was on Can't Stop Snapping with Teddy Ninja and Bradsifer. If you want to check it out, it's on all their YouTubes. Um, and while we were talking about it, I thought, oh, if it was only played on a lane alone, like obviously capping its power at like 25, whatever would probably do the job. But I think this is fairly elegant. If it can only be played alone, it both telegraphs where it's going to be played and allows you to more easily stop the damn card. So I like Blob at 6-2, so it doesn't work with Ravona, and then only play it alone. That would be my preferred fix. I think the other fix is we finally get the 4-3 Valkyrie that we've been so desperately waiting for. Stature and Black Bolt to 1-7 and 1-8. I think that the problems with Blob and Goliath and at some point Doom have sort of told us that we need to be working on 6-cost cards. So my assumption is the power of 6-cost cards needs to be looked at. So I believe that they should, maybe will not, revert the Evolved Hulk. And if they're going to keep Blob the way I think they're going to keep Blob, then Infinite should be about 24 or 25 power. They need to fix an early scaler, so I want to see Bishop go to a 3-3. I think they make Hercules a 3-5. They could also, I don't think they would keep it a 4-6 and then make it work on multiple cards in an OTA. So 3-5 is my hope. I do think they're gonna touch Hercules. And then Modoc, I think, will be a 5-9 because that keeps it under Shang and just makes it a little better, and they're probably gonna try and push Miek. And I know it's Meek, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna call it Miek or Mike. Thanks. All right. This is the number 1 deck. No Looks Given has a full deck guide on this from Sanutora. I think it's worth looking at the number 1 deck in Snap right now. So this is what it is. It's a really cool build. This is we looked yet literally in Monday's video at the Torican one, which is the most common Thanos Lockjaw that everyone is playing right now. It's the one Cam and Lambie promote. That Thanos Lockjaw was Monday's video, how to play it, against it. This is a different version. This version fundamentally says my blob will have more power because I've got Infinite and She-Hulk. I've got that extra giant thing to pop out of Lockjaw. I've got Iron Man because that turns any of these big cards into a near blob level threat, right? And then I've got Tribunal because Tribunal lets me spread it around, lets me beat all the lockdown. It says screw your Storm lane, screw your Professor X lane. I just win. It's got Psylocke so that either Psylocke can let you cheat out the Iron Man or Vision, or B, you can play it on 4 and you can cheat out one of the 6s, or um, you can play it on 4, skip 5, drop She Hulk and Infinite on 6. There's like a million things you can do with Silex. Alex, really, really, really. So there's a cheaper version of this in yesterday's video, but this one needs Tribunal, Scar, Blob, and Thanos. Kara can be armor. You lose a lot from that, but it is a change you can make. And remember to check No Lux Given for gameplay and more. So please check out my friend No Lux Given. You will not be sad. All right. Sanu is number 1 on the ladder. Currently in a fight with Retreat Master. When I made this slide, he was in first, and now I think Retreat Master is taken first. I'm not checking back and forth. It's fine. Either I will get that Retreat Master deck for you as soon as humanly possible, but it's one of the two. There's a third player really close. It's Tori, but we talked about Tori's deck already. Turn 1, draw, and turn 2, draw more. Turn 3, Lockjaw is better than Psylocke, is better than Kara, is better than draw. Turn 4, Stone and Kyara, Stone into Lockjaw with Kyara. Or you drop Iron Man or Vision if you did Psylocke, or you can just drop Psylocke so you can drop a 6 next turn. Cool. Turn 5, Stone and Lockjaw, um, especially if it's the Time Stone because you want that extra energy on 6, plus Scar is like your best play. So if you can get one big thing out on turn 3 or 4, i.e., use Lockjaw, then Scar is 4, right? And Scar and a Stone is just a wildly good turn 5 play. Is better than Iron Man or Vision, is more or less equal to Blob or Tribunal. If you go Blob, you're looking to Tribunal last turn. You would prefer Blob to pop out of Lockjaw, but hey, sometimes you have to play him. Same thing for Tribunal. And turn 6, Blob or Tribunal Stone if you can. Cool. That is the basic gist of this deck. It is extraordinarily strong. It feels completely broken. I really, really hope they fix Blob tomorrow. Quick variant talk. Hips for Jaw, Hips for Psylocke, Hips for Iron Man, Vision, Blob, Tribunal, Magneto, Infinite 8 hip deck. Doing great here. I want a Scar variant. Put Scar variants in the game. Don't make us wait months. I will have this Thanos next month when it comes out. I promise this Thanos is completely incredible. I've got Peach Momoko She Hulk here. We need Kara variants again, too. And that's the deck. Cool. If you have these cards and you just want to win, just play this. You're not going to be sad. Okay, we vote Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we vote for a card, a lesser played card to feature in a deck. Vote for a card, lesser played card. Yeesh, I can't type sometimes. Whatever. Punisher and Electra won last week and were featured in Sunday's video. If you'd like a good Punisher and Electra deck, check out last week's video, this past Sunday's video. This week, we're voting Mr. Negative, Crystal, Captain America, or Squirrel Girl. So just comment which of those you'd like to see a deck for in either Friday or Sunday, pending time. Either Friday or Sunday, you will get a deck for one of those 4 cards. Cool. Successful deck, a deck that can actually win like a real deck. All good? Let's keep going. Our final deck is not Gunny T's Big Dumb Idiots, but it's a very similar deck to Gunny T's Big Dumb Idiots. So I wanted to show you Gunny T's deck. Gunny T is a friend of mine. Over the slideshows for me, we talk all the time. So Gunny T is about to start a YouTube video and YouTube series and streaming. So make sure that like you keep an eye out. Remember the name, just like store it in your brain. You won't be sad. He's going to be a big deal in Snap. So Gunny T has Big Dumb Idiots as a deck. And now that is fairly similar to this Ika deck. You can see the differences, right? There's like 3 or 4 cards different. Um, the big difference, and I know, sorry, there's 2 big differences, I guess. Shadow King for Quake, and I think that that's a 50-50 which one is better. I honestly don't know. Your basic plan for that is to either um go like Shadow King Maximus Scar at the end of the game or Quake Scar Maximus at the end of the game, so that's whatever. And then like you have Magneto versus Destroyer. Destroyer is obviously hard to use, but more power. It's 3 more power than Magneto, but Magneto has a nice ability, yada, yada, yada. It's very difficult to decide amongst those cards. Ideally, you're going with the 2 to 3 play turn 6 any day. Cool. Let's keep going. So this needs Scar and Blob. Gladiator is just the biggest 3. You play whatever the biggest 3 you have is, because in certain locations, the biggest 3 you have gets to 10 power, and that's helpful. Actually, yeah, no, it has to be that, right? Because you don't want a Maximus early. I was gonna be like, can you run Hulkbuster here to try and get that's only gonna move Maximus to a 10. At that point, you have to also run Lizard. But like, if you can find space, if you can figure out how to do it, um maybe Nebula would have to go, I guess. But Lizard plus Hulkbuster would be like another way to get an extra 10 power card out here, and thus make your Scar better. Okay. Ika has consistently great brews. Ika is a brilliant deck builder. Everyone has seen the Leech Darkhawk builds. Ika was the very first person to do it. Second Blob came out, he was all over that. Um, yes, someone in my comments also suggested it. I just want to give proper credit to that person. Please feel free to tell me your name again, and I will shout you out too. But Ika is the one who popularized it, who gave it to me, gave it to Devilish, sent it around. Ika had that wonderful Anature deck. Ika's a brilliant deck builder, so you should check Ika out. So, okay, turn 1, Nebula is generally better than 0. You only play 0 if you're sure you're going to Maximus 2. Turn 2 is Armor is better than Nebula, is better than Maximus, is better than 0, and 0 is only if you're sure you're going to Gladiator. Turn 3, Armor, if you're sure you're going to Tuma, is better than Cosmos, better than Gladiator. Turn 4, Atuma, obviously, in that Armor lane. Or if you dropped a 0 on turn 3, right? Because you can go one of the turn 2 plays into 0 into a Tuma on 4. And then you can also just go 0 and Gladiator on turn 5, Ronin or Scar. I generally prefer Ronin. And turn 6, Blob, Scar, and Shadow King. Blob is better than Scar and Shadow King, because Blob is stupid. And if you can go Scar or Shadow King to Maximus, you win any game that doesn't have Blob, more or less. And then Magneto is your last play. Big variant look. We've again got a bunch of hips. We got Nebula, Cosmo, Gladiator, Atuma, Ronin, Blob, and Magneto. Another 7 hip deck. I know hip armor is in here. It's not out. I just want it. And the rest of the variants aren't anything like thematic. They're just cool variants. And for the love of God, give us Scar variants. Thank you. I called it Big Dumb Scar. I don't know why. I felt like that. I didn't want to call EK an idiot fundamentally. Cool. All right. My shop yesterday gave me a new hip. I grabbed that hip Ultron. I love it. I decided to show it off a little bit bigger so you can see it more clearly. The other card I almost bought is Cloak. I decided not to because I have these other 2 great cloaks. I have the Max Greek, which I play if I'm not running Dagger, and I have the 1602, which I play with the 1602 Dagger when I'm running. Cool. I have a hip for Mordo. I have the Butterfly Thanos, and I'm getting the Infinity Gauntlet. I have Jacinto and hip for Carnage. I have hip and Rian for Cosmo and Summer Vacation. I don't know who made that. Hip for Ghost and Peach Momoko and Ms. Marvel versions of Mystique. So I'm good on basically all of the variants. There's very few variants I still need. All right. I did buy the Mr. Knight Moon Knight. I couldn't resist. It's too good. And yes, I also bought. Is that the right one? I don't think that's the right one. I also bought the Hellfire Gala Moon Knight. That's not the right. But I also bought the Hellfire Gala Moon Knight. Sorry about the wrong Moon Knight. I guess we'll live. Um, I also opened up got the season pass for the Hulk, and I'd like you to also vote, in addition to what card you want to see, which Hulk variant I should run, because I've got this amazing Planet Hulk one, and I also have this also awesome Horley one, and I like both a lot, and I can't decide which I like more, so which Hulk should I run, is basically what I'm asking. Um, I'm running Mr. Knight for my Moon Knight for the time being. So I want my hip for Bishop. I should have bought it when I saw it. I'm an idiot. I keep staring at this Jim Lee. It's really good, but hey, there's a hip, so I want that hip. We're not buying Red Skull. Fuck Nazis. Um, Peach Momoko is one of the best Valkyries in the game, but I have the Rion and spending 2,400 on Valkyries. I have Hip Zabu. We just talked about Psylocke, which you saw earlier this video, and I have Noir Hood. So none of these are buys. But hey, which Hulk do I use along with which card? And hey, maybe that comment will get you a season pass, right? Could happen. Okay. Certain tiers of our Patreon support come with on-air thanks and videos. These are our Patreons at that tier of support. Models, Pretty Chill, Father Newman, Ink, No Flex, Mandatory Burnout, Matt Conduit, Good Dog Gamer, Kierdix Lee, Mikey Hijinks, DG Winfield, Rob Silverman, excuse me, I can speak. Matt H, Robert Rivern, Abigail Gieslin, Direwolf, Ocularis, Spike Jones, Louis Antunes, JD McDonaldino, and the homie Min. Also, Louis, I told you I had dinner with Louis 2 days ago. As you're watching this, I told him I was going to talk about something that's happening to him in Series 3. We're going to do that at the right time. It's got to be the right video. This wasn't it. I promise you it's coming. Cool. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that sub if you're interested in checking out what we offer. Check out the Patreon on patreon.com/snapjudgments. But either which way, make sure you sub. Make sure you ring that notification bell. Hopefully, you can win a season pass. I'll see you tomorrow with 2 snap takes because we got a new an OTA coming and we got our regular daily video. Peace.